to here, I want to kind of introduce StarRocks. So it's the real-time OLAP database that we're going to use to compare to ClickHouse in today's webinar, right? Some short introduction. So it's cloud native, it's storage and compute separated design, and supports real-time mutable data. So you can perform fresh data updates with StarRocks, right? And also has no external dependencies, so it's easy to maintain, as well as it's SQL compliant. So you can connect whatever BI tools or applications you have that's also SQL compliant, standard SQL compliant, and it's gonna work, right? But the one thing that I can count StarRocks on is the ability, StarRocks' ability to perform really efficient join queries. So from looking at our users' use cases, StarRocks join is actually fast enough that you can ditch the majority, or for a lot of users, all of their denormalization pipelines, even with large scale of data and with high concurrency, right? And first, let's look at some benchmark data. So this is the SSB dataset. So there's actually two variants of this SSB dataset. So the original SSB dataset is multi-table, so it has, I think, 5 tables. And ClickHouse actually created a variant. So we call it SSB flat. So basically, what engineers at ClickHouse did was pre-join all of the table into a flat table and run the same queries, but without the join part, right? And let's look at some results. So StarRocks, ClickHouse, and Apache Druid. So the first 3 are ran on the flat schema, so no joins involved. And say StarRocks is the fastest, and ClickHouse comes second, and Druid, fortunately, comes last, right? But the interesting part is the last, the blue one, right? So this is actually StarRocks running on the multi-table schema test. So you can see that StarRocks multi-table performance is actually faster than Druid's single table performance, and it's almost as fast as ClickHouse single table performance, right? So StarRocks multi-table join performance. So you can think of like, if you're using ClickHouse or Druid, you can just ditch your denormalization pipeline, and actually without losing much performance, right? And StarRocks is those MPP databases are designed to scale, so you can actually deploy whatever you're spending on your denormalization pipeline and deploy that into more StarRocks nodes. It's gonna even run faster, right? And it's gonna give you the flexibility, right? And this is just showcase some performance numbers. And here, just for the fun of it, let's take a look at TPC-DS, right? SSB benchmark, you can see that as a resembles more of a dashboard or a customer-facing analytics kind of scenario where the query is not insanely complicated, resembles the queries are generated by some kind of application or front end, right? But TPC-DS is more like those ad hoc, really complex ad hoc queries, and those ETL queries, right? So a lot of really heavy joins and high cardinality aggregations, right? And StarRocks versus Trino. Trino is a query layer or query engine on the data lake that's really good at doing joins, really doing complex joins, right? And StarRocks even 5.5 times faster than Trino on TPC-DS, querying the same data on the data lake,